Hey there guys, it's Mr. Jackal here, and we're back with another video. Today we're doing 10 things to do before the Sinnoh Remakes Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. These are things to do in Sinnoh, or even after the release depending on what features they're going to have. Stick around till the end of the video and let's get into it. This video is going to have a difficulty range, meaning that from the beginning of the video through to the end, each task will get gradually harder. This list is supposed to take you a while to complete after all. Stick around to the end of the video to see what my proposed biggest challenge for you guys will be. First up we have create a Falseswipe Master. A Falseswipe Master is a level 100 Pokemon who has the move Falseswipe. These can be accompanied, that's kind of obvious, but these can be accompanied by Hypnosis, Thunderwave, Stun Spore, Sleep Powder if you want. Just any move that makes it easier to catch a Pokemon. I personally like to have Swords Dance, Dragon Dance, whatever powers up the Pokemon to hit harder for that Falseswipe hits, especially on Legendaries, and then a high damage move. For example, if you've got Zangoose, Breloom, Gallade, having Gallade or Breloom, you want a fighting type move, that's going to be Stab, that's going to do high damage on the things you don't want to catch. Zangoose, you know, he's good if there's nothing else available, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, that's the first part there. And we'll move over to the Switch just so you can have a look at my Gallade. As you can see here, my Gallade has Falseswipe first off, meaning that you can hit Pokemon down to 1 HP. Followed up by Swords Dance, which increases his attacking power and the power that Gallade can hit with for the beefier legendaries. It's always good to have a Falseswiper on the team for unexpected shiny encounters and overall making it easier to catch anything you choose. Following up at number 2 we have the Synchronizing Squad. Some of you may know what I'm talking about, but for fans of Pokemon who maybe don't know or understand natures, let me give you a quick rundown. Synchronize is an ability which lets you copy the nature of one Pokemon into the nature of the wild Pokemon. Meaning if you have a Synchronize Ralts at the front of your party who's adamant, you chuck him out, he could be dead as well, you don't need him to be alive. He's going to copy his nature onto another Pokemon if he has the Synchronize ability. It's going to be super easy if you want to breed for shiny Pokemon, you want competitive Pokemon. I think I've got a full team of Ralts on Sword and Shield. The Abra works as well. I'm sure there are others as well. I just found Ralts to be the easiest to use, the easiest to find. You can breed them through with Dittos if you want. I just personally bred a random Ralts for about 10 minutes before I got half of them, and then, you know, I could wheedle them out from there. Just, you know, if you go around and catch some stuff that's breedable with the Ralts, you can always breed a Adamant Ralts, a Modest Ralts, a Timid Ralts, a Jolly Ralts. These are the 4 main ones, so, you know, it just depends what you're after. As you can see here, my collection of Ralts spans over every single nature that affects the stats. Some of their natures don't, so as you can see here on the right, the blue lowers the attack, the red beefs up the special defense, beefs up the speed. So as you can see, you know, having Modest, Timid, this one here, this is a Modest attacker, lowered attack, higher special attack, makes him better at taking down certain enemies. It's useful especially when you start shiny hunting or breeding for perfect IVs, as you can always just strap a dead Ralts to the front of your party and catch a whole load of good-natured Pokeboys. Taking our number 3 slot, we have a slightly underrated pick, the Pickup Squad, no pun intended. Pickup, like Synchronize, is an ability which can have a massive benefit, especially in the early game. Pickup allows the Pokemon who possesses the ability to have a chance at picking up items. These items can range all the way from regular Pokeballs down there at the very common / ultra common level. Actually, there are no Pokeballs there. I am talking rubbish. They can find potions, little mushrooms, all the way down at level 1. And as you get up into the level 91 to 100, you can see that you can get bottle caps, ethers, max revives, big nuggets as well. So that's an easy way to make lots and lots of money and grind all the way up to millions of Pokecoins. I know that I'm going to be doing this once Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl comes out. Following on, as you can see here, I have Galarian Linoone as my pickup team, meaning that it's unlikely we'll be able to see these in the Sinnoh Remakes. So I'm going to make another team, probably with Hoenn Linoones, Hoennian Linoones, I don't know really how to say it. There are plenty of Pokemon with this ability, and I plan on creating that new Sinnoh squad based off of that. And I'll transfer that across once the game comes out. The main problem here, however, is grinding each Pokemon up to level 100. I have done that, but due to EXP candies, it's a little bit of a breeze. That's why this one's only number 3. Number 4 is actually pretty quick. Some would call it easy. It's complete Sword and Shield and the DLC, completing the games and catching all the legendaries you can. We're looking specifically at the new Regis, as they might have some significance in the new games coming out later this year and Legends of Arceus down the road. Regis and Sinnoh that are transferred across may have some kind of final Regigigas form. We did have that back in the old days of Platinum, Diamond, Pearl. You transferred the legends for the 3 Regis from Hoenn into Sinnoh and you got Regigigas. We might have another kind of Regigigas form that takes on LAKEY and Regidrago, but that's to be seen. So if you don't have the DLC, try and grab some of them off the GTS, because it could be interesting when the new games come out. Completing each storyline and collecting powerful legendary Pokemon from the dens doesn't just fill up your Pokedex or your national dex, but you're getting powerful team members that you can use along the way. The Regis are only one choice, however. These are the legendary Galarian birds. If you've never seen them, I highly doubt you haven't seen them before. We've got Psychic Articuno, Fighting Zapdos, and Dark Moltres. They're super cool. We'll get a detailed view of them just now. These are some super cool birds I'm hoping are going to be available, and that's Zarude. That I hope they're actually going to be transferable, because, you know, look at that Articuno. There's nothing cooler than that. Halfway through our list now, we're going to have a look at number 5. We have quite a grindy task for those of you who want to collect every single cool and unique Pokemon. Marked and hidden ability Pokemon, or marked and hidden ability hunting, should I say. These are some of the most sought after attributes when looking at modern day Pokemon. Hidden abilities especially being useful, such as Cinderace's Libero ability. I don't know how to really say it. I think it's Libero. It could be like Libero? I don't know. Libero, I've been calling it, which allows it to take on the typing of whatever move it used last. So, you know, if it uses Tackle, it'll then be a normal type, which means it'll be weak to fighting, but it won't be weak to water anymore. So it can be quite useful. I think Greninja has this ability as well, which makes it quite an interesting choice. These abilities allow us to have a vastly more diverse perception of each Pokemon and can help us narrow in on a super cool team that you never really thought you'd use. Cinderace for one, everyone kind of hates Cinderace. I mean, out of the 3 Galar starters, I probably like it the most. But I think having Libero puts it above, definitely, Inteleon. Grookey Gang, you know, you can't really fault Grookey, but I think Libero Cinderace would give it a run for its money. Secondly, in number 5, we have marked Pokemon. You know, oh, my Mew doesn't have any ribbons. That's kind of surprising. This is the one from the Go Plus. I'm assuming that, yeah, Zarude has a ribbon. I don't hunt the ribbons personally, but, you know, I know that a lot of people do like to do it. The Wishing Ribbon, as you can see here. If you played Sword and Shield, you know what these marks and ribbons are. They are just when you throw out your Pokemon, it's going to come up Zarude, the Wish Granter. You can see there down in the bottom left, rather than just, you know, Zarude. It's a neat little feature that will carry with it all the way through, and it can make collecting special shiny Pokemon in the wild all that more fun and all the higher chance of getting a cool rare mark. An extra challenge for those of you who have marks already, as I've just said, the shiny Pokemon. If you do get a shiny Pokemon, there are a list of marks that are really rare to get. So one of them is like 1 in 1,000. So getting a getting a shiny, which is already like a 1 in 4,000, 1 in 1,000 with the shiny charm, and then an extra chance of getting one of these on top of that. I think that makes that Pokemon even more rare. And you know, it'd be quite cool to hunt one of those. Getting into the harder area of the list now, we have shiny hunting. You know it's getting hard when you have to find shinies. But getting prepared for Sinnoh with a team of shinies that you want to use in your first playthrough has never been easier with Sword and Shield's breeding mechanics. Just by putting a Pokemon in the daycare with a foreign Ditto, it's quite easy to trade. You know, it takes about, I don't know, look on Reddit. I'll have a link to some traded Reddits in the description. Have a look on there. I found maybe 5 or 6 Japanese 6 IV Dittos in like 10 minutes. And you can go and get yourself some Masuda Method shinies. Having a whole load of unevolved, low-level shiny Pokemon, or Sinnoh Pokemon even, means that your first playthrough will be stress-free from having to find and catch your favourite mons, and may eliminate the terrible fire type absence if the games do follow along with the Diamond and Pearl decks. Shiny hunting is lower on this list due to the fact that it can take anywhere from 20 seconds to 200 hours to find a shiny, so it can be very easy or really hard. But at the end of the day, it's just a waiting game. Take my cool shiny Lucario here. He took me, I don't even know how long to hunt for. Did I Masuda him? I think I Masuda him. It took so long, and then I've leveled him up to level 100. I've used some stat items on him. I've got some... I don't actually know if he's... I suppose, you know, you could special attack him instead or speed him up. But yeah, he's one of my favourite Pokemon I've ever caught, and one of the ones that I'm personally quite attached to. Completing the national dex may be one of the hardest things to do in Pokemon. However, making this number 7 spot is only going to be to complete half of the national dex. By completing half the Pokedex, or national dex, you will find that your journey in Sinnoh may actually go by a lot faster than expected. That is a bad thing. Every new generation, I set out to complete the Pokedex using only the Pokemon I catch in-game or in that run. But by having the dex complete beforehand, you don't need to worry about Pokemon's constant, terrible decision to lock some Pokemon behind version-exclusive walls. This can make your journey a lot more stressful. Not to mention, you can also grab a Riolu straight away. You can grab all 3 starters if you want to have a run-through with all 3 starters. And, you know, if there's compatibility from Gen 1 to 4, you could start with Trico, you could start with Mudkip, you can start with whatever you want, and it can make the game go by a lot quicker, but also a lot more tailored. Up next, we have the DNS exploit for Gen 5, more specifically catching this bad boy here, Darkrai. As you were probably thinking during number 7, the mythicals are indeed impossible to catch legitimately at this current moment, 2021. You know, don't want to timestamp the video. Early 2021, getting midway almost. However, through the use of the DNS exploit in Black and White or Black 2, White 2, it is possible to get an event Darkrai for your Pokedex along with, you know, Genesect or not Shaman, with Victini or Meloetta, but you know, Darkrai is what we're looking at, Gen 4. I've linked a clear video with instructions down below from a very trustworthy source. I've done this myself following his video. So the hardest piece about this is you've got to get the Gen 5 games. They can be quite expensive, especially Black 2 and White 2. I actually don't have a copy of either of them. I just have the originals because they were a lot cheaper, and I have my originals. But you know, the only ones that would be harder to find are maybe the Gen 4s. Speaking of the original Gen 4 games, some of the hardest Pokemon games to find in 2021, your mission is to complete number 9 and play and finish the original Diamond, Pearl, Platinum as well. I recommend Platinum. Platinum's is better. While this may be easy for those of you like me who have at least one game from every generation, there is still a challenge in these older games, something that a lot of people used to enjoy or still enjoy about them. So I recommend before everyone dons their Sinnoh hats and hopefully gets slapped around by Cynthia, you go and experience the best Pokemon games before that is gone forever. You might never be able to play these games. They are becoming harder to find, more and more expensive. I recommend getting them while they're a little bit cheaper. I would say cheaper. well, we're getting kind of a port, but you know, it could be easier. I like to play it on the DS. It's the original, and I think it's in its base form, its original glory, is definitely the best way to go. As the games get older, they become harder to get. Something I've already established in this video, maybe in the last 2, sort of. However, my final task for you is to find the egg. The egg in question is the Manaphy egg. One of the hardest Pokemon to come by in 2021 has to be the original Pokemon Ranger Manaphy. This is due to the limited time it was available for and the fact that only one of these Eggy boys can be transferred per copy of the game, not per save file. I recommend, however, having a look online and maybe asking some of your friends about these lost games. I managed to find mine just in a cupboard in my house. My mum and my brother used to play it when I was very young, and I remembered about it. And I thought, you know, we never had Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart, Gold, Soul, Silver, so the egg should have still been there, and it was. As I said, I found the Pokemon Ranger copy in my own house. Here is the proof that I have the Manaphy. You can see the OT there is Mikey, that is actually my name. You can see down here, Fateful Encounter in the Sinnoh region. I think this is the only way to get a Manaphy in Sinnoh. a Fateful Encounter, I think that shows that he came from Pokemon Ranger. I do also have the copy. I could show you it, but I mean, at the end of the day, I can only get the one egg, and I did this maybe a year ago. Yeah, so that's you can see a little Darkrai there as well, level 50. This is the Unova one, so 2012 May, that's the little Darkrai. And then you can breed him to get one of these bad boys. I'm trying to get a shiny one. I think I said that in the last video, but hey ho. Impossibly hard Manaphy finding aside, I hope you enjoyed the video and you can have a good crack at trying to complete all of my steps. Let me know in the comments how you're getting along. Happy hunting, trainers, and I'll see you in Sinnoh. See ya.